Good afternoon and welcome to Quays News. It's another tough time for some families who are struggling to put food on the table. Over 900,000 adults and children in the UK have used food banks in the last 12 months, a 163% rise from last year. Closer to home, the Manchester charity Bounce Back Food has contributed over 5,000 meals to local food banks using a unique business model. Max Merrill has more.
As the need for food banks in the UK grows, a young entrepreneur in Manchester is tackling the problem in a unique way. Duncan Swainsbury founded the charity Bounce Back Food, which operates a one-for-one business model. I sat down with him to talk about what he is doing to help food banks cope with the rising demand.
Through my experience of volunteering in food banks, I was aware that items of food that were in high demand were pasta, rice and tinned food. Items of food that are the basis of lots of different staple meals. And every single time that you buy a product from us, we donate the same item to your nearest food bank via FareShare or the Trussell Trust. They're the two largest food bank operators in the UK, both charities, and they know where the food can help people the most. So the way that we kind of look at how we're impacting people's lives and generating social impact is in the number of donations made and the number of meals that we've contributed towards. And we got over the 1,500 donation mark, which translates into 5,000 meals.
Duncan is ambitious and has set his sights on expanding the project online. He wants to enable people from all over the UK to buy one, donate one.
Over the last year, we've been selling intermittently through the website, so people have got in touch and said, I love the idea of what you're doing, I'd like to order X and Y, so maybe a couple of bags of pasta, an item of tin food, that sort of thing. But from December the 4th, we'll actually be selling online, properly opening our online store to allow people to buy gift hampers of the items that we sell initially. And then through into 2016, you'll be able to order your monthly supplies of staple food, so pasta, rice and tin food. The scale of the problem means that we need to be doing so much more in our second year. And I'm hoping that through online sales, we can begin to support more food banks up and down the UK and therefore generate a bigger social impact.
At the moment, Bounce Back Food isn't ever present at Greater Manchester markets. But with his website expanding and Duncan preparing to hold a TED Talk in Sheffield, 2016 could see Bounce Back help Brits support food banks across the nation. Max Merrill, Quays News.
The refugee crisis has affected millions of people. Here in Manchester, volunteers have been repairing donated bikes at the Gaskell Garden project in order to help refugees settle into their new surroundings. I went down to Platfields Park Bike Hub to find out more. Getting around in a city like Manchester is easy, whether you take the bus, the metro, or even ride your bike. But things aren't always that simple for refugees and asylum seekers. That's why the Gaskell Garden project have started fixing up donated bikes in order to give them to people in need in the Greater Manchester area.
To ride a bike is for free. And so this means that anyone, no matter how much money you have or anything like this, you can still get around Manchester and you still access all the places you need to go to. So we want to have people who are seeking refuge in particular, they can get around Manchester. And then any excess bikes that we make, we're going to send to Calais to help the people in the refugee camp who are essentially living on the sewer line.
Dr. Retta Moran works for the charity RAPAR and is here today to show her support.
This is a project that's being developed as a collaborative project between RAPAR and the Gaskell Garden project. We worked out that it could be possible for us to create a project whereby people in Manchester reconditioned bicycles. And for every 2 bikes that are reconditioned, one can stay here and be used by somebody who doesn't have mobility in the city of Manchester, and one can go to Calais. It's 2 miles from the nearest shops or anything where they would go to get any kind of services at all. RAPAR is a human rights organisation that started in 2001. Our purposes are really to secure equal rights for everyone.
So there's the practical side, benefits to having a bicycle, and it's also the emotional side as well. Because we find getting exercise and being able to ride, you can take your children to the park, it's all part of being a human being as well, and we consider that to be just as important.
There are many organisations doing their bit to help refugees and asylum seekers in the Greater Manchester area. But as the refugee crisis continues, there is still work to be done. Max Merrill for Quays News. Drunken partygoers will be given the chance to test their driving abilities as part of this year's Drink and Driving campaign. The Greater Manchester Police campaign called None for the Road will offer people who have had a few drinks to have a go in a driving simulator and see for themselves the effect that alcohol can have on driving.
Alcohol has been a contributing factor in 73 crashes so far this year. 2 of these crashes were fatal and 16 led to serious injury. Police have also dealt with 216 drug drivers in 2015. None for the Road will take place in Wigan Town Centre this Saturday and Manchester City Centre on Sunday. A disability-led theatre company in Manchester has debuted their new play last Friday. Loud and Proud Arts Company performed their play Pyramus and Thisbe, which challenges the boundaries of traditional theatrical romance. It combines acting with live digital mediums, and the audience is given the chance to follow this modern online relationship. We talked to artistic director Tom Hogan about how they tackled the issue.
Because we have been looking at bringing a performer into the space in a digital way, we've had no option but to include social media in all its forms in some way in the performance, and also how people conduct their relationships over the internet. It's communicating with somebody who is there but they're not there, and what.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me
Greater Manchester Police. Yeah, because that's what I've always wanted. They've launched their Christmas campaign today to crack down on Christmas crime. It's aimed to tackle crime and protect vulnerable people over the festive period.
There will be 12 days of action both on the streets, online and social media. Purse bells and other crime prevention gifts will be handed out to give shoppers to keep thieves away.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Today is the day when you open the first door on your advent calendar. 20 years old and I still have one. The Manchester Christmas markets are still in full swing, lining up festive treats with a festive feel.
Taking inspiration from the German markets, Manchester's equivalent offers mugs of mulled wine and all-round festive cheer. Or does it? We spoke to the manager of King Street store Jones Bootmaker to see whether the effect they have on local trade is a positive thing.
Well, I would say that the footfall's been increased 30% since the markets have come. So in terms of our footfall, it's like a really positive thing. Currently we're opening an extra half an hour in the morning, so from 9 instead of 9:30. On Thursday and Friday we're opening 9 till 7, so that's an extra hour and a half than we'd normally trade. And the markets are open till 8 o'clock anyway, so for us to be open it makes sense. Looking good, looking bigger and better than ever, so I'm sure on my day off I'll probably get around them at some point. Yeah.
And now over to Ollie with your local sports news. So Ollie, was it Fury by name or Fury by nature?
Well, you could say he left Vladimir Klitschko furious after that bout. Anyway, we'll start with Wythenshawe's own Tyson Fury, who ended the 9-year reign of Vladimir Klitschko as he claimed a unanimous decision victory to claim the WBA, WBO and IBF heavyweight titles in Dusseldorf last Saturday. It also turned out to be a successful night for super middleweight James de Gale, who beat former champion Lucien Boutet on a unanimous decision to retain his IBF crown. Both wins now mean that Britain has 10 World Championship belt holders in the combat sport. Now, one of the most popular sports in the Paralympics is wheelchair rugby. Originally called murder ball, the Canadian export has gained popularity with both able-bodied and disabled athletes. Mancunian's RLSC has capitalised on this by launching their own wheelchair rugby team. However, with the Paralympic Games just a few months away, could Manchester provide yet another Paralympian? We sent Joseph Crabtree to investigate.
Wheelchair rugby first gained wide public awareness during the 2012 Paralympics, so it might come as a surprise that Manchester is still without its own club. But on Sunday afternoon at the Hoff End Centre, the wheels were put in motion. BT Great Britain Wheelchair Rugby's Stuart McLinden coached the session, starting with the children, which especially pleased Mancunian's Stephen Hopewell.
It was fantastic to see loads of people having a great time, especially the kids. It must be so difficult for children with a disability to take part in sport, and we're just really glad to give them that opportunity.
And they certainly enjoyed the opportunity. Mancunians had previously failed when arranging a wheelchair rugby taster session, but Hopewell said things were different this time.
The key to any success is having a good network, and we've got Natalie, who's just come on board, who's the gold medalist at the Invictus Challenge. We've had fantastic help from people at Greater Sport, fantastic help from people at Great Britain Wheelchair Rugby. They've got a great network of people, and we're happy to tap into that network, and that's one of the reasons why we've been so successful.
And even in a taster session, Robinson still showed that determination and competitive edge. Come the final whistle, a great time had been had by all, and come Rio 2018, maybe there'll be a Manc on the screen. Joseph Crabtree, Quays, TV News.
In rugby news, Sale Sharks were held to a tie by Newcastle Falcons last Saturday as Danny Cipriani missed a chance to kick his side to victory in the last action of the game. In a game played in terrible conditions, Sale failed to score a single try and had to rely on the boot of Cipriani, who managed to score 5 penalty kicks. After the game, though, manager Stuart Diamond said it was another missed opportunity wasted by the Sharks.
Let's be honest, we should have kicked the goal at the end. You win the game. We should have kicked the goal against Harlequins, you win the game. So we're 6 points off, that's what I've just told them. You know, with what's happening in rugby at the moment, with people wanting to go to what they call super clubs, well, we should be in the top 3 tonight going in after our last 2 performances, so we've got to look at that and grow again. You know, we've got to go to Gloucester, you know, a difficult place to go on Friday night, we've got to get something out of it. But it's more 2 points lost today than 2 games.
Elsewhere, the FA Trophy draw was made last night. The pick of the tie sees 2 giants drawn together as conference sides Tranmere take on Wrexham. Elsewhere, Macclesfield Town will be hoping to capitalise on their good league form when they take on either Gainsborough Trinity or Ashton United. And recently appointed manager Dino Marmia will be hoping for his first cup win at the Sandgrounders when they take on Worcester City. Joining me to review the FA Trophy is our football correspondent Jordan Davis. Now, the FA Trophy isn't televised, but for non-league teams, this is like your FA Cup, isn't it?
It is literally the FA Cup of non-league teams. It's run by the FA. There's a Wembley final, and it's exclusively for the non-league side. So it is literally the FA Cup of non-league teams.
So, in terms of prestige, how important is it for a non-league side to win?
The FA Trophy has been running since 1970. Macclesfield Town were the first winners. Ever since, it has been sort of discussed, is it ridiculously important? Does it play second fiddle to the cup and to the league? If you take it seriously, the FA Trophy is an incredible. Who doesn't want to play at Wembley, especially for a non-league side? Most of the sides are part-time. For a part-time player who will be working during the week, if you can get to Wembley, that'll be the best footballing day of your life, I promise you.
Now, Wrexham take on Tranmere. Wrexham last year's runners-up. Does that take the shine off the competition if they have to pick and choose between the league or the cup?
I don't understand
no?
the attitude. Wow, I don't understand the attitude of you can either have league success or trophy success. Winning breeds winning. In 2011, York won both the trophy and were promoted. That was under Gary Mills. He currently manages Wrexham. If Wrexham won, they can win this. They can beat Tranmere.
Anyway, that's all we have time for. Thank you, Jordan. And finally, this year's shortlist for Sports Personality of the Year award was announced last night. Athletes Jessica Ennis-Hill, Mo Farah and Greg Rutherford are included, with tennis player Andy Murray, F1's Lewis Hamilton and footballer Lucy Bronze. Elsewhere, it was already a landmark moment for Rugby League as Kevin Sinfield became the first Rugby League player to be nominated for the prestigious award. Boxer Tyson Fury, cyclist Chris Froome and Lizzie Amistad, swimmer Adam Peatley, gymnast Matt Whitlock were also nominated for the award. So, who do you think should be the Sports Personality of the Year, guys?
I think it should be Tyson Fury, I reckon.
No questions here.
I'm sure the umbrella trade is booming at the moment. Is Sam Ard singing in the rain? Here's Sam with our latest weather reports.
Well, it's going to be a rainy night tonight, quite breezy too, temperatures dipping down to about 9 degrees tomorrow, waking up to some more rain. That will turn heavier as we head through the day, temperatures not reaching much more than 13 degrees, and then the rest of the week it's staying the same, feeling quite wintry, cold and windy and wet for the rest of it.
Sadly, that's all we have time for today.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Quays News and Quays News on Facebook. We'll be back on our Christmas special on Monday the 14th of December.